ladies and gentlemen, it is officially race day here at the Knoxville Raceway in Knoxville, Iowa. A little windy this evening. We're just about an hour away from start time here, getting our fire suits on, heading over to the pit meeting, and rolling out on track for engine heat, hot laps, and qualifying. Now, this is the opening night of our 2025 Midwest Tour. We're just a few thousand miles from home, and it feels good to be out here at the sprint car capital of the world. This is like 4 of our most intense weeks of the season as we're nearing the 360 and 410 Nationals. On top of that, we have the Kings Royal next week. I think we're running like 20 shows in like 30 days. It's some nuts statistics. So we're ready to get rolling. Got the 18T down there. And yeah, it looks like, I mean, I literally just got here to the infield, but looks like we got quite a few cars in the house tonight. So we'll keep you guys updated. We're gonna bring you along for the red 18T's first trip to Knoxville this season, and really wanna just make some valuable laps and get some good notes for you know, the big shows we have coming up. Cars tonight here at Knoxville. With that many 410s, they split the field into Group 1 and Group 2. We drew a really early pill, which I thought was going to play in our favor. I mean, it would have played in our favor, but I just didn't lay down. I didn't lay down good laps. We wanted to try something kind of different than what we've done here before, trying to make gains in the right direction, not running a lot of big track stuff. And I don't really know if we just weren't very good. I mean, we weren't very good. Like, I don't know. Like, I just sawing on the wheel. Like, I almost feel like we're just so tight, having a hard time get through the corner with how much grip there is, that I'm trying so hard to get the car to turn that eventually it just kind of like breaks free. And then once you start dancing here at Knoxville, when your arms are going back and forth and the car's going back and forth, you're losing so much time. On top of that too, I feel like we're having some sort of brake issue where the brakes are just like dragging and they're not like releasing the rear end to roll freely. So anyway, just trying to get things in the right direction here, but we'll keep you guys in the loop. Didn't lay down a great qualifying lap for where we went out, so we're probably going to be buried in a heat race. So right away, Carly and my dad were investigating what was going on with our rear brakes, checking out the caliper, checking out the pads. It was crazy how they were just hanging up, and it seemed like almost that was lugging the engine down. So we feel like once we got a grip on that situation, then Carly and I spent quite a bit of time just talking about the race car. I felt like my laps were, you know, obviously my laps weren't good, but just trying to figure out, you know, what do I need more from the race car? What do I need to do better? You know, what did our 2 laps look like? And now moving into the heat race, we are 15th overall in our group, so we're going to be rolling off from 8th. So unfortunately, starting this far back, the cameras get covered quickly, but I got a heck of a start. I shot from 8th to 5th here, just kind of blitzing through the middle, the only part of the racetrack where there really wasn't cars. So I made good speed through 1 and 2, and even the whole first lap, I was kind of right behind Boguski, but then those cars in front of me started to drive away. So I was running the high side, and I felt like I needed to move around. I just thought if I stay up there, I was gonna get past. And as I started to move around and kind of race, you know, a car showed me a nose, like I just broke my momentum, and for whatever reason, like, I don't know, then I just didn't put together good laps. We just started fading. Like I said, broke momentum, and I never regained it. And so I got up to 5th,
but then eventually had fallen back to 8th. So we started 8th, finished 8th in the heat race. And as you can see, the track still had quite a bit of grip. You could run really hard around the top. The bottom, you could basically drive in, and once your car catches and sticks and gets pointed, you could drive off the bottom and shorten up the racetrack. But yeah, that was basically our heat race. I mean, we shot off out of a cannon and then unfortunately just wasn't able to hold on to the spots that we had gained.
T5 2M, the 10-20.
Well, shoot, we started 8th there and finished 8th. Had a really good start. Was right behind Madsen, and I just told myself in my car, you know, starting on the outside, you have a really good opportunity going into 1 to just attack. And maybe with just kind of how we're set up, almost getting into 1 where guys got balled up for a second, or I don't know. It's just like I was able to get in the right spot, and I drove right through the middle and got across Kerry's nose, and then from there was in 5th. So in 1 lap got to 5th and was kind of behind Boguski for a second. He was in 4th. And I was running the top, and I could see him driving away from me on the bottom, and so I was happy up there for a second. I was trying to build a lap or two of good speed, but I did want to move around at some point because I thought if I stayed up there, I would eventually, you know, just not have enough speed. Like, I knew I had good enough guys behind me. If they found something, they were going to drive right by. So as I started moving around, I just lost my pace. And one of those things, like, you just kind of start thinking about what you're trying to do, and when you're thinking, you're not your 100%, right? And so anyway, I'm just not, you know, those were some more of my real laps after what we had that mishap in qualifying. Like, the RPMs were right in the engine. I felt like things ran better. So now we got to make, you know, quite a few changes just to be better in race mode, be better by ourselves all around. So yeah, that's what we're going to use this B main event for. Probably a 180 from where we're at now, and just try to get our race car where it's comfy and it can race. And you know, on a surface like that, there's enough grip out there that if you're good, you should be able just to kind of drive. You know, not necessarily you're wide open everywhere, but you can run really hard, carry wing speed, and get the thing where you want it. And rolling around, you know, should never have lost those spots like we did there at the end when we just started fading and backing up.
Bringing them around, turns 3 and 4 to the white line, off turn number 4, 3 to 2.
Well, guys, what a defeating night for our team. We started 11th there in the B, and I think we finished 11th. Definitely don't feel very happy with our balance. I thought, you know, we took a big swing there, and you know, and it's just tough. Once you're in traffic, it's difficult here at Knoxville. You know, our night was, unfortunately, you're in a bad spot after qualifying as far back as we are with this points format. You're basically automatically going to go to the B main event. Even if we would have passed all those cars in that heat race, still would have only been mid-pack in the B. So as a team, we're just going to debrief, you know, from tonight and look at, you know, what we did and what we didn't like, and, you know, maybe try to pick a new direction to come here later in the trip. I felt like I made a few laps better there in that B, but I also made some bad, just poor decisions, you know, behind cars. You're trying to keep your nose clean and be in clean air in your own lane, and a couple times I just, you know, thought guys were going to go low or go high, and I just picked wrong, and you just easily slide across the racetrack in dirty air. Your car just doesn't handle how you want it to. So anyway, yeah, just really disappointed with tonight. Definitely thought we were going to come in and do better, but pull a tear off onto the next one, and that's Knoxville. I mean, you had 40 cars tonight, and obviously the locals get around this place really well. They just have a lot of experience here, and we have laps here too, but just very spread out. And you know, tonight too, we came in with something completely different than we'd ever ran here before, just trying to find more speed than we've had, and you know, more speed here at Knoxville, because this is a place you always got to keep chasing it, because you know, the guys that are running here all the time are really fast, and they're getting faster. So anyway, is what it is. We'll load up and watch the rest of the night. Well, the night is over here at Knoxville. They're already working on the racing surface. Starting with the obvious, of course, we did not have the night we were looking for with the 18T. So as we always say, pull a tear off, and you know, on to the next one. They already started working, so you can't see what the racetrack exactly looked like in the A main event, but it was pretty racy by the end of the night. You know, the track had a lot of grip in spots. I think it was just a little extra wet from some of that rain, but eventually, once like it got worked in, I mean, it was really, really wide, and I think Brian Brown came from 14th or 16th to win the 410s. So some pretty crazy stuff there. The main thing as a team that we're really going to look at, and I think tonight we didn't really get a fair shake, which is part of what put us behind. I don't think our car was stellar, but those brake issues that we had in qualifying, being off pace, the engine not hit, you know, I mean, we were a couple hundred RPMs off where we needed to be, but really looking ahead at our qualifying trim package here at Knoxville, how we can get our car to roll around with the most speed, be stuck, because at the end of the day, that's what's going to help you the most on these local shows, but also at the big nationals, Capitani, doesn't matter, whatever races we have coming up, all these big races, they all go back to qualifying. I mean, and that's just how wing sprint car racing is nowadays, whether it's high limit, whether it's the Outlaws, whether it's a big race, qualifying is everything. And when we qualify good, you guys have seen, when we start up front, when we got track position, we're right where we need to be, and even nights we come through the field when we don't qualify good, but just really zone in on that, and then usually the results will follow. But anyway, glad we got the trip started. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for supporting our team. If there's one valuable lesson I can tell you about this sport and probably in life in general, it's not always about your results. I mean, don't get me wrong, results do matter, but on a night like this, it's, you know, what can you take away from it? What can you learn? Because it wasn't a wasted night. It can feel like that because things just didn't go good at all, but what we take away from it and how we move now into the rest of our trip is really what shows who we are as a team and how we're growing and in the direction that we're heading. So again, thank you guys. We are gonna chalk it up. Thank you, Knoxville Raceway. Always great to be at the sprint car capital of the world, and really looking forward to the rest of our 2025 Midwest tour. Deuces.